Hello and welcome to Let's Talk Sports preview of Juventus versus Manchester United, taking place this coming Wednesday in the Champions League. It should be a very exciting fixture, specifically because Cristiano Ronaldo once more playing against his former club. Of course, he did it not too long ago at Old Trafford. That game finished though by 1-0. Dybala getting the goal in that one, and it sees Juventus coasting towards the knockout stages of Europe's top competition, easily with 9 points from 3 games so far, 6 goals scored, 0 conceded. United, on the other hand, 1 draw, 1 win, 1 loss, 1 goal conceded, but not 1 goal scored, 3 goals scored in that one, 4 points on the board. It's a bit of a tricky fixture here for United because they've got Valencia and they've got young boys, well, maybe not young boys chasing on their toes, but Valencia's still there. Could cause a bit of a mishap for them as to potentially get into the knockout stages of the Champions League if they're unable to get a result against Juventus. I mean, Luke, Juventus are a really strong team. They've always been strong in the Champions League, but you know, it's still looking like the same kind of side, even though they've lost a couple of pieces over the summer, like Buffon and things like that. They've gained one, a big one in Ronaldo. How important is Ronaldo for this Juventus side?
I think Ronaldo's the game changer. The one, because Juventus have been like the bridesmaid, but not the bride.
Yeah.
Sort of thing. Like they've been nearly there. I think Ronaldo's that piece of the puzzle that will probably push them over the edge, because when they signed Ronaldo, that was, for me, they're the favourites for the Champions League, because Ronaldo just brings that star quality. He brings goals. Like, of course, this season in Serie A, he's got 7 goals and 5 assists.
Yeah. Which
is pretty good considering he's 33. But yeah, this is a massive game, especially for United, because I can imagine that nothing but a win for United is needed to stay in contention, especially if Valencia go and beat Young Boys, which is
more than likely going
to happen. So, but for Juventus, if they get a point or if they win, that's for me, that's group done.
Yeah, it would a win guarantees them a spot in the knockout stages, and as well as Ronaldo, they've got the likes of Dybala and Mandzukic, and Pjanic as well.
Yeah, Pjanic, yeah.
Or is he? I thought he was at Roma.
No. It's been at Juventus for quite a couple of seasons.
Oh, okay. I must be thinking of someone else then. But, you know, Juventus are carrying on their fantastic league form into the Champions League once more, continuing on from the past couple of seasons when they've been able to get into the knockout stages, deep into the knockout stages. 3-1 win over Calgary at the weekend. What does United need to do in order to stop players like Ronaldo and Dybala and Mandzukic, really? Do they have the players to do that, or as the previous game at Old Trafford's already shown that they might struggle to do that?
Thing is, with the game at Old Trafford, Juventus didn't really get out of second gear because they scored a goal. They scored 1 goal. Should have been more. Like, I know United fans saying, we only lost 1-0. We did better in the second half. And he's like, yeah, you only did better in the second half because Juventus just took the foot off the pedal. Because they could have absolutely battered United.
Yeah.
And probably made 1-0 look a lot worse. Like, I know De Gea made that wonder save against Ronaldo, which is what you expect from De Gea. But that game just shows how good Juventus are, that they weren't really playing it at their best. They had 70% of the ball, and United didn't really have a sniff in that game at all. And I reckon it'll be the same again. Like, I'd reckon that if Fellaini's fit, Fellaini will play instead of Fred, which will annoy every United fan.
Yeah.
But that's because he's not very good, and that would interrupt the good form that United have been doing, because, let's be honest, Mourinho should be out of a job by now. It's Martial and Pogba. It's Martial FC. It's not United anymore. It's called Martial FC, because he's the one that's been saving Mourinho 5 goals in the last 5 games.
Yeah.
So if Mourinho doesn't revert to type and park the bus and plays some sort of good football instead of just defending, because United aren't even good at that anymore.
No.
Like, they're not even good at, like, sitting deep and hitting on the counter attack, because their centre backs, Smalling, Lindelof, Jones is fit now, so expect him to start in defence. And if that happens, Ronaldo's just going to be going,
field day.
This is going to be as many as I want it to be. But I do fully expect Juventus to win. Their home form is pretty much imperious.
Yeah, they're very difficult to beat at home. United visiting them are in decent form comparing to what they did at the start of the season. A win at the weekend against Bournemouth away from home, 2-1 in that one. The man that you were mentioning just then, Martial, getting a goal in that game. Also, Rashford scoring the winner in that one.
Earlier.
He should have scored.
Should have scored earlier, but it bobbled off his knee, I think.
Yeah. Lukaku missed that game, dropped out of the team because of an injury, but he hasn't really been in great form either. And with this Rashford good form as well, getting the key goal in the Bournemouth game, and Martial in good form as well. As you mentioned, his goal scoring tally has been pretty decent over past recent games. Is Lukaku going to struggle to find a spot in this team, or do you think he still walks into it?
He probably still walks into it because he's one of Mourinho's boys.
Yeah.
Because I think Mourinho said in this press conference, I think he sort of spoilt what his preferred front three is, and United fans aren't going to like it because it was Sanchez, Lukaku and Rashford. So, like, Lukaku's injured because I think he's only missed 8 games in 4 seasons.
Quite a good record, isn't it?
He played at the World Cup. He's probably burnt out. He's doubled in size. Like, he's probably packed on a lot of muscle, which is different to the Everton Lukaku. But he was lean, quick, powerful. He looks like he's packed on a lot of muscle. He's not as mobile as he was. He's not scored in, I think it's 8 games. He's not scored in 8 games from his blistering start of the season when it was like 4 and 5 or something like that. So he's sort of tailed off a bit. He needs a rest, kid. He's not... I don't think he's had a proper rest for years. So I think just keep... If it's not broke, don't fix it.
Yeah.
And at the moment, it's not great, but it's still winning games. But Mourinho will divert back to type.
Yeah.
Try and sit deep, hit on the counter. And if that's the case, it's 2-3-0 Juventus, because you don't see United getting any of the ball, really.
Yeah, just quickly before we get a goal scoring prediction from you, with the big game at the weekend for United coming up against Manchester City, and you were saying then about Lukaku needing a bit of a rest potentially just to get himself back into kind of a match fitness sense where he can get the goals in for fun every single week. Do you think with how well Juventus have been playing, do you think United could potentially rest Lukaku again so that he's fresh for the derby at the weekend? Or do you think they would play him in order to get him into form?
I think Mourinho will play him hoping he gets into form. But to be honest, United have got to really think about what's more important here. Because they're not going to win the league. I think United fans have admit it. Probably not going to win the Champions League. But if they go back down into the Europa League, or possibly even finish bottom of the group,
it could be
Mourinho's last the last game,
last hurrah.
But he's been saying that, see where we are in December, which sort of inclines he ain't going anywhere. And for most United fans, it's like, should have just lost at Newcastle, because he was pretty much dead and buried at Newcastle, but somehow the team is saving him all the time, and that will probably keep him in the job until the end of the year.
What do you think the scoreline is going to be in this game?
3-0.
3-0?
3-0, yeah. I think Juventus is just so good at home defence. Chiellini, Bonucci, you got your midfield of like Pjanic, Matuidi, and like the front line, Dybala and Ronaldo. And if Jones is playing, Jones and Smalling versus Dybala and Ronaldo, come on, it's like De Gea's going to have to be at peak David De Gea levels to not concede.
Yeah,
which is going to be impossible.
Yeah, it definitely could be a very one-sided game at Juventus in this one, I think, as well. I think easily Juventus could win it by 3-0.
Yeah.
I'm going to be kind and give United a goal.
That's if Juventus are sloppy, though.
If Juventus are sloppy, but
they've got Wojciech Szczesny in goals.
They haven't conceded a goal yet in 3 games in the Champions League. Are they going to start now against United at home?
Especially when they played Valencia away with 10 men.
Yeah.
So
difficult one for United against Juventus. What are your own predictions for the game itself? Let us know in the comment section below this video. Don't forget to like it, subscribe for more Let's Talk Sport content. See you all very soon.